Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to walk you through how I created these cards. So they're just little cards and I created a set I want to give as a gift, and for the sentiment all I did was print it from my computer. I used Photoshop. You could use Windows Notepad, you could use anything, and I just found some fun free fonts. I really liked this one because it was a brush script and I thought it went really well with the watercolor theme, so I found that one. I do not remember what it's called or where I got it from because I got them a long time ago, or no, actually I just recently got this one, but I don't remember where I got it from, I'm sorry, but I know that it was a free font. I just Googled free fonts. Anyways, and I just printed it on vellum, and it just says, "Hello, sweet friend," and just watercolored the images. This one, the color isn't looking as good as it looks on the image, but that's okay. You get the point. You can see what it looks like. And then I just threw some sequins on there for a little bit of shimmer, and we have a lovely card set. So I'm gonna walk you through how I created that, and then I'm going to walk you through how I created it, and we'll put it together, and then you will have a lovely card set for yourself. So we're going to start off by working with a piece of watercolor paper, very inexpensive watercolor paper, and I am working on the texture side. I tend to always work on the textured side. You can work on the smooth side, I've been told, but I just always work on the textured side. I don't know why. But this isn't very textured because it is very inexpensive watercolor paper. And I just buy a big pad of it, and then I pre-cut it to my card size, which is 5.5 by 4.25, and I just stick it up right up there. Here, I'll show you. If you can see, the light's going to be really bright for a minute, but right there, that's my pre-cut watercolor cut to the right size, and then right there, that's my pre-made cards. Those are all the cards that I've already made. And then there is my card bases, and right behind them, see if I can, here, I'll shut off the light. Okay, maybe not. It's supposed to be a touch light. Okay, guess we're not going to shut off. There we go. Right behind them there is the envelopes. So I just created this little thing, and I keep it right up there. Then, when I'm working on a card, I can just grab it. So, I grabbed a piece of pre-cut watercolor paper, and I did cut this one down. This is cut now to 5.25 by 4, and that's because I wanted the 1-inch border of the black to tie in the black printing on the letters. Okay, so all we're going to do is grab a watercolor set, whatever watercolor set you want. I am using my P.H. Martin's. These are called Hydrus Fine Art watercolors, and the only reason I'm using them is because I really love the color payout. The color that comes off of these that's left behind is just awesome. So I really like that a lot. And then let's see, even the yellow, it's not showing up on camera very good for some reason, but even the yellow has a really bright color, so I like that. And because I'm putting the vellum over, I wanted a bright color in the background. So all we're going to do is pick the colors that we want, and I'm going to try to create a little bit of a teal, so I'm going to bring some green up there, and then I'm also going to put some blue up there. That's lovely. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is, while I'm laying it down, I'm just going to squeeze the water out of my water brush so I have it a little more watery than it would be under normally if I just used it straight out. And then I'm just going to throw some color down here and let it go. So there we go. You have a very lovely little background here. And then I actually really like that one. So I want to go ahead and use that one instead of the one that I pre-made. I pre-made one here, and I don't love it as much as I like this one. This one turned out much better. I like the color differences in there, so I'm going to go ahead and use that one. But what that means is I need to dry it. I like to let my watercolors air dry if I can help it. Whoops, doggy toy. Because I think they blend a little bit nicer. But for this particular one, I'm just going to go ahead and dry it. Alright, sorry about that. I tried to be prepared, but then it turned out I liked this better. Now, what I do, when I do a little bit of watercoloring for a card, I need it to be really, really flat, and you can tell that this is not. It's warped. So what I used to do is I would run it through my Big Shot. I would just put it in there with a little bit of a shim, and run it through with new plates so that it didn't get any texture from the cutting and anything. But now what I do is I run it through my Mink. And that's because the heat in there and the pressure of the rollers makes it flat as can be. So while we're doing that, we can prep our if you haven't already cut it down, you can cut down your vellum piece. I've already cut mine down, and I left them long on the edge on purpose, and that was because I want to fold it over, because you'll see on my card it is not attached to the front at all. If I were to fold it up, you would see that it's not attached. It's just folded around the back. That way we don't see any adhesive. So I left them long. And then we also are going to need some sequins, so we can grab those. I'm going to use teal, and I think I'll use blue. These are dollar store sequins, which I put in these little thingies, which are awesome. I get these at Hobby Lobby. Individual lids that open up. Oh, you can just open up one color if you need to. And they're locked, so they don't come out and they don't mix up, which is awesome. Alright, so now our piece has come out of the Mink, and it is nice and flat. I really like that. All you're going to do now, take your watercolor piece, or your vellum piece, sorry, lay it on the card where you want it placed. I'm having mine centered. And then I just fold around to the back side in a nice, snug, tight fold. And then I just use my fingers and pinch it. Get a nice tight fold, nice crisp fold there. Then I'm going to open it up. And I'm just going to run a bit of adhesive there. And then again, fold it up. Make sure it hasn't moved. It's right where you want it. Fold it in. And there we go. Then we simply I'm just taking a piece of foam. I'm just using a piece of green foam because it's what I have here. and we're going to place it on top of it. And I'm just going to go ahead and use my ATG gun. Run the heat adhesive there. And then, oops, kind of centered it. I cut this to 1/4 of an inch smaller than the measurements of this piece, so that it would have a white border, because I don't want the green to actually stick through since I'm not using an appropriate color. Okay, then we stick that aside. I'm actually going to get it ready. I'm just going to put my adhesive right on it, like so. Set that aside. Then I'm going to grab my piece of black paper, which I haven't scored yet for some reason. Stick it in here and score it to 4 1/4. Okay. Fold it up. Just like that. Then we take our card front. I tend to like to build my cards on a base instead of just right on the card itself. I tend to do that a lot. Alright, then we have that. Looking lovely so far. Then I'm going to take 2 blue sequins and 1 teal one and put them up there. And then I'm going to take 1 teal one and 1 blue one and stick them down here by the word friend. Then I'm just going to take a little bit of this matte medium. Now, up until just this week, I used glossy accents to apply my sequins. And while that works, what it does is when it dries, you can see it because it's glossy. When this dries, this is multi-medium matte. When it dries, you can't see it. And I did not believe that that would make a difference. I thought you'll still be able to see it. And so I never bought it. However, recently I was placing an order on Amazon and I needed a few more dollars to get the free shipping, and I'm all about the free shipping. And that came up because I had put it in my cart before and took it out. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to get it and try it out. And let me tell you, number 1, it is strong. And number 2, I can't see it. When the adhesive dries, it doesn't show. There's no gloss. There's no anything. Even on what poked through the holes of the sequins, you couldn't see the adhesive, which you could when I used the glossy accents. So I love it. Now, there's our card. You can see we have the lovely little shimmer of the blue sequins. And yes, now you can see the adhesive, but once it dries, you will not be able to. Let me see if it's dry on one of these projects. Yep, it is. Let me put it on autofocus here, and I'll see if it will focus on those. Come on. Okay, let me do it manually. There we go. Can you see there? You can't even see an adhesive blob inside the circles there. Let's see if I can turn it so you can see it better in the light. There, do you see? There's no blob, there's no nothing. It just looks like they're on the paper. That side's not quite dry. Let's find another one. The other ones aren't quite dry, but let's see here. Now this one I accidentally smashed, and you can see kind of where the adhesive is, I guess, but when it's further away, when it's up that close, you can see it, but when it's further away, you can't really tell. So I'm still happy. I still love it, and I will be using it from now on when I put sequins on. So there's our card, and we have a lovely gift set for you to give as a gift. Hope you liked them. I hope you try to create them, and if you do, I would love to hear from you. Bye-bye now.